Hello, I'm Bliznub, and welcome back to Building the Best. Today we're going to be looking at the Arca Plasmor, a corpus shotgun lots and lots of people have been telling me to try, and the reason we're doing this is because it's lovely and simple. It's a very simple build, and I thought I wanted to ease back into Building the Best, because I haven't done one in a while. But getting right into it, the Arca Plasmor has a lot of pros and cons. Starting off with the cons, its accuracy is absolutely terrible, meaning that you never ever want to put vicious spread on it because your shots just won't go where you aim them, like not even close. Its fall off is pretty poor, starting at 10 meters, dealing over only a third of its damage at 20. Its crit multiplier is just garbage, meaning you do not want to crit build this weapon at all. The 22% crit chance actually isn't that bad and would mean that Hunter's Munitions wouldn't be a terrible shout, but you would actually get a lot more damage just putting a normal elemental mod on. And lastly, its reload is trash. Like, it absolutely trash. If you don't have it, get a chilling reload. It's a nightmare mod, really easy to acquire. Makes the reload more bearable, and I would say without, like, if you can put up with the 2.8 reload, more power to you. You can squeeze more damage out of this weapon by putting on another elemental mod, but good lord, I could not. The 2 seconds is bad enough with chilling reload on. But anyhow, getting right into it, the pros on this weapon, fairly obvious right off the bat. It deals base radiation damage, which is fantastic, meaning that you can build it for such delightful combinations as radiation corrosive blast, radiation gas magnetic, radiation viral heat, and radiation viral cold. Like, insanely useful for building against the enemy type you're going to be up against. Cannot recommend that part of it more. Its status chance, despite the fact that... Oh, I forgot to mention, this weapon only fires a single pellet. It doesn't fire a spread of pellets like most of the shotguns do, meaning it is unfortunately exempt from the rules that govern shotguns when it comes to status. It behaves like a rifle in that respect. Does, however, mean this 28% status chance, whilst incredibly good, does not allow it to do the thing where it can get 100% status before multi-shot and proc ridiculous amounts with every shot. No, it won't do that, but it will still, as you'll soon see, proc ridiculous amounts regardless of what you do on it. That 28% is really good. Aside from that, magazine size is decent, the fire rate's alright, but it's really this base radiation damage and the 600 of it that we're looking at and looking at thoroughly abusing. So what I've gone for is a pure damage build. I've actually just ignored the status altogether. I've gone for 2 damage mods, 2 multi-shot mods, and 4 elementals, pumping out a total of 26,700 damage. Makes this weapon incredibly effective at crowd control. I don't actually want that setup. I don't want that setup. I want that one. Incredibly effective at crowd control, and I cannot stress that enough. This weapon is for crowd control, not for single targets. The reason I've settled for 60% status chance, despite saying how good the status is on this weapon, and not taking any status mods, simply because I'm never going to fire it once at a target. I'm going to fire it 3 or 4 times into a crowd of enemies. I might clear up the odd straggler with this thing, but really, it's a crowd control weapon. Treat it like a blunderbuss, because despite the fact that it only fires 1 pellet, that pellet, for some odd reason, still has spread and widens as it travels out to the maximum distance. That said, I did throw together a status build for it. This is only a one-former build, so if you're looking to build it on the cheap, this is as good as an alternative as any. Only does 21,500? 800? I don't know, 21,000 something damage. So you're losing about 5,000 damage, but you're gaining 98% status chance, which is pretty powerful. Or you could drop that off for another 11 pointer for 93% or 81%. Like, at the end of the day, just mix and match till you find the perfect combination there. Personally, I massively prefer this build because honestly, like I say, that 60% status is more than enough when I'm firing several times at the same target. But enough about that, honestly. Oh, I do forget. I haven't actually made one of these builds since Rivens came out for primaries, so I will quickly say, if you are going to stick a Riven on this weapon, try to avoid having more than 3 of the same kind of modifier. For instance, I've only got 2 damage mods here, despite the fact Vicious Spread exists, and would actually add more than an elemental mod. You get decreasing returns as you add more of the same kind of thing. Also, if you have a multi-shot Riven, for instance, swap out Vigilante armaments for it. If it's a base damage one, swap out Blaze. If it's base element, swap out one of these. Or if you're in doubt about it still, just stick it in various slots and see where it fits best. At the end of the day, like, you can't go far wrong with that. But yeah, getting right into it, I want to show off this weapon. I was hoping to keep this video nice and short. We're going to show it off against 3 Corrupted Bombard? What? No. I wanted many of them. Thank you. I'm going to show this off against some mixed enemies, just to show you really do need to be building this weapon against the particular enemies you're up against. So for instance, Corpus Techs. Okay, I might get a crit and just instantly kill one of them. It's going to shred through them. It may struggle a little with their shields at first, but once it gets to their health, they're just screwed. Whereas Infested are even more screwed. This weapon will frequently one-shot level 100 Infested. Whereas unfortunately, up against Bombards, I'm dealing Radiation Corrosive Blast. Up against Bombards, I'm actually going to struggle a bit, just because those corrosive procs will be a little bit lacking. And it'll take a while to get through their armor, but of course I will get the occasional crit here and there, which will help out. I say occasional, I'm seeing quite a lot of them, with only 22% crit chance. But yeah, it's going to struggle, which is, like, honestly, for Corrupted Bombards, I'd probably go for the Radiation Viral build myself. Okay, he's going to be a minute getting back up, let's just show you. But how I've got it built at the moment with the elements as they are, this weapon will absolutely shred Infested. Like, they will not stand a chance against it. The other thing I should probably mention is, out to 15 meters, this weapon has guaranteed impact procs, which will stagger or knock down your enemy depending on their size, which is pretty damn useful. If you don't manage to kill them in the first shot or two, yeah, so like I say, absolutely a crowd control weapon. And before I forget to mention, that's not all. This weapon has an awful lot of tricks up its sleeve. It also has innate punch through versus enemies, which is to say it won't punch through terrain like walls and floors and that. It won't go through a door, but it will go through the enemies. If I can just simulate that again. I'm sure you saw, but oh, we've got a lovely crowd of Infested here. There we go. Problem solved. That was, I think, 7 or 8... Oh no, 6 Infested in 2 shots. Like, it's just brutal against them. But absolutely, most important thing of this weapon is tuning it to whatever enemies you're up against. Really ridiculously important. But anyhow, I've been talking for far too long. I was hoping to keep this short video. So yeah, that is the Arca Plasmor. Insanely powerful, but it very much depends on building your damage type for the enemies you're going to be facing. Hello. Ooh, that was a bit buggy. Let me just... Yeah. Thank you. Anyhow, thank you guys very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. As always, please like and comment below and subscribe if you want to see more. Let me know if you want to see more videos like this. Let me know if there's any weapons in particular you want to see. For now, I'm Bliznub, and this is the Arca Plasmor. A quick one, really quickly. I know this video is dragging on a bit, but for those of you guys who have actually stuck around with me for the last 2 years, it has been that long since I've made a Building the Best, and I am sorry for that. Me and the game had a bit of a falling out, but I'm getting back into it now in a big way. Like this I wish I'd never stopped. I really do, because this game is amazing, and I'm sorry I ever doubted it. But thank you guys so much for sticking around all this time. I hope to keep these videos coming a bit more frequently now. I'm trying to get out at least 1 a week. So I hope you guys will stick around for more. Anyhow, thank you guys very much for watching.